Hello, good class. This is our topic lesson. What I'd like you to think about before I start the lesson is, where in your house do you keep food? So have a think, stop the video, have a chat, think about all the places that you know in your house that you can store food, sorry. When you think you have done that, when you think you've thought of everything, then start the video and we'll see if you were right, or if you thought of things that Miss Lynch didn't. Okay, so let's see if you thought of the same things that Miss Lynch did. Okay, so like I said, we're going to learn about safe food storage and expiry dates. And there's many different places in your house that you can store food. Maybe you thought of some of these things that I've thought of. So you can store food in a fridge. You could store food in a freezer. You could store food in an airtight container. You could store food in jars. You could store food in a cold, dark cupboard. You could store food in a bowl. And you could store food in tins and cans. Did you think of any of those things? If you thought of something else, maybe you can tell me on Tapestry. Now, my next question is, where in your house do you store these things? So where do you store milk? Where do you keep bread? And where do you keep ice cream? Can you stop the video again and have a chat with your parents or with someone in your house, with your teddy, or you can draw a picture to show me different places that you keep these things. So stop the video and do that, and then we can continue. Okay, so these different foods need to be stored in different places, and they have to be stored in different places to keep them safe so we can eat them safely. Right, so can you guess where milk needs to be stored? Where did you say that you keep milk? Did you guess a fridge? Well done. Where do you think bread can be stored? Did you guess in a bread bin or in a cupboard? Well done if you did. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Where do you keep ice cream? Did you guess in a freezer? Well done if you did. Okay, so like I said, the correct place to store milk is in the refrigerator. The refrigerator ensures that the milk stays fresh and safe to drink. So it keeps it cold, and that keeps it safe to drink. And we know how long food will stay fresh and safe to drink because of an expiry date. So the expiry date for this milk is on the side of the milk. Can you see it here? And it tells you the month and the date that the milk will no longer be safe to drink. So this milk is quite old and it wasn't safe after the 10th of March. Okay, so after that day, it wasn't safe to drink anymore. Okay, so the correct place to store ice cream was in a freezer. And it's the ice in the freezer that keeps ice cream very cold so that you can enjoy it and it can be safe for you to eat. And then shop bought bread, the bread needs to be kept in airtight, so that like those containers, no air can get in the plastic bags at room temperature. So it shouldn't be in the fridge and it shouldn't go in a freezer unless you're going to keep it for a very, very long time. But if you want it to taste best and you want to eat it straight away, it needs to be in an airtight container and somewhere dry at room temperature. And the expiry date on the bread tells us how long the bread can be stored like this. So this one says the 7th of January. That's when that bread will be out of date. So what do you think happens if we put food in the wrong storage place? Can you stop the video and tell me on Tapestry? So you can make a video and tell me what you think will happen. You could try and write it down and tell me what you think will happen. And then after you've done that, we'll do the experiment. So we're going to do the experiment to find out what happens if you keep bread in the wrong place for a long time. Are you ready? Okay, so once you've done your prediction, then you can come and do the experiment with me.
Hey good class, so this is our science experiment with our food, and what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at some breads, and I'm going to store the bread in a different place to where it should be. Can you remember where bread should be? That's right, it should be kept in an airtight bag, usually in a bread bin or in a cupboard. Okay, but that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my breads on a plate, on a table, or on the counter. Just leave it on the plate. Okay, it's not covered, it's just on a plate. Now, I'm not going to eat it, but I'm going to look at it every day to see if anything changes. I might touch it as well each day to see how anything changes. So let's look at what it looks like now on day 1. So this is the first day of my experiment, and this is what my bread looks like. So it looks normal, and it's very soft to touch. Okay, so you've seen what my bread looks like on day 1. What I want you to do now is have a look at what you can use for your experiment. You can use bread, or you can use a different food. It can be any food you like. If you can't do the experiment, don't worry, because I'll keep you updated on Tapestry. And in a week or 2, we'll have a look at what's happened to my bread. Okay? When you've decided what food you're going to use, check what it looks like on day 1, and then check it again in a couple of days and next week. If you notice any changes, you can let me know on Tapestry, and I can't wait to see you all getting busy being scientists and experimenting. See you soon, and stay safe and take care at home. Bye.